In this video, we're going to learn PHP for loops. As we have seen in the JavaScript section, for loops, they are used to execute the same statements many times with only one parameter, which is going to change every time we run the statements. Okay, so let's start with a simple example. So we're going to run the following statements. Echo a variable I is going to be a number followed by a line break, and we want to run this statement many times, okay, for different values of I. So we want to start this statement with a value of I equal to 1 until a value of I equal to 10. So to do that, we're just going to copy the statement and delete it for now. So we're going to use a for loop. So the syntax is pretty similar to JavaScript. Okay, so we're going to use the keyword for and then parentheses, and then we're going to have curly brackets where we're going to write our statements. All right, so inside the parentheses of for, we're going to define the conditions we want for our I variable. So I is going to start at 1, and we're going to have a semicolon, and then we're going to write the condition which will set the final statements. So we want I to be less than 10. Okay, so we're gonna start at 1 and we're gonna continue until as far as I is less than 10. So the last statement is going to be for I equal to 10. Okay, and finally we're gonna set the rule of incrementing I. So we want I every time to go up by 1. We're going to do I++. Okay, so let's try this. If we save and refresh the page, so we can see that we have printed numbers from 1 to 10. Okay, all right, so now let's move to another example. So this time we want to cycle through the elements of an array. Okay, so let's start with a numeric array. So let's create a simple numeric array, comics. Okay, we're going to use the array class, and let's have 3 values there. Okay, BMW, and then Audi, and then Mercedes. Okay, so what we want to do, we want to run or execute a statement with a parameter which is going to take the value of the array elements each time. Okay, so the parameter at the beginning is going to be the first value, and then we're going to run the statement with the parameter equal to the second value, and then the third value, and so on. Okay, so now we're going to use a new keyword. It's called for each. Okay, so and then that's going to be followed by parentheses where we're going to define our variable, and then we're going to have curly brackets to execute our code. All right, so let's say the code we want to execute is we want to just write the value of our variable. So let's say our variable is called value, and we want to echo that followed by a line break. Okay, so now inside the for each keyword, we are going to write the name of our array, which is comics, and then we are going to write the keyword as followed by the name we have chosen for our parameter, which is value. Okay. So we're saying here, we're saying that for each element inside our array as value, okay, we're going to echo that variable value followed by a line break. So if we save and refresh the page, now we can see that we echoed the first element's value followed by the second one and then the third one. All right. Okay. Now we're gonna go for another example, but this time with an associative array. So let's create an associative array first. We're gonna call it shopping basket. Okay. And we're gonna use the array class. And if you remember, we need to use the following syntax. So each element is going to have a key, okay, and followed by a value, and then between the key and the value, we need to have an equal sign and a greater than sign. Okay, so as an example, the first element is going to have a key A and a value yogurt. Let's create a couple of other elements with their keys and values. So the second one, let's have a key B and a value bread. Then the last one, C, and a value X, for example. Okay, so now we want to cycle through this array and execute a statement which is going to be as following. So we want to echo the key. Okay, for each element we want to echo the key followed by colon and then the value corresponding to that key. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to choose a variable for the key. We're going to call it key. Okay, so we're echoing the key followed by colon, and then followed by the value of the key. And for the value, we're going to choose another parameter. We're going to call it value. Okay, and it's going to be followed by a line break. Okay, so this is our statement. Let's copy it using Control-C, and I'm going to delete it for now so that we can create our for each statement. So this time we're going to use a different syntax inside the for each statement. And then we're going to have curly brackets with our statements there. Okay, so we're going to write the name of our array just as we did with the numeric array. Okay, so our array this time is shopping basket. And also we're going to write the keyword as, but this time we want to refer to both the key and the value. So all we're going to do is write a key followed by the value with equal sign and greater than sign between them. Okay, so we're going to replace this with the variable key, and we're going to replace that with the variable value. Okay, so in here we're going to have key, and there we're going to have the variable value. Okay, so now if we save and refresh the page, we can see that we have printed keys followed by colon followed by the corresponding values. Okay, we started with the first one, second one, and then the third one.